Hi everyone, myself I am Diana. Today we are going to discuss the last section of the chapter surface areas and volumes. So you all are familiar with different solid shapes, isn't it? Yes. Some of them are cube, cuboid, cone, cylinder, etc. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about the frustum of a cone. So from this word itself you have got an idea that we are going to discuss which is something related to cone. So have a look at the figure I had drawn here. So from the figure itself you have got an idea it is a cone. So the height of this cone is denoted as h and the radius is denoted as r. So can you see any peculiarity between the height and the base of this cone? Yes, they are at right angles. So that means the height of the cone and the base of this cone are perpendicular to each other. So you know the name of this type of cone, isn't it? Yes, they are right circular cones. So for discussing about the frustum of a cone, first of all we have to consider a right circular cone. So now let's check what happens when we remove a portion from a right circular cone. Now I have drawn a right circular cone here. We have to remove a portion from it. For that I am going to cut this cone by passing a plate which is parallel to its base. Then it will be get separated into two parts. The upper part will be a cone which is of a smaller size and the leftover lower part will be a unique solid object. And the name of this unique solid object is known as the frustum of a cone. So the frustum of a cone means the leftover unique solid object of the right circular cone. So once more I will repeat it. First of all we will consider a right circular cone. Then we will cut the cone into two parts by passing a plane which is parallel to its base. Then it will be separated into two parts. The upper part will be a cone which is of a smaller size and the leftover lower part will form a unique solid object, and the name of this unique solid object is the frustum of a cone. So I think you all have got an idea about the frustum of a cone. Now we can check its definition. Portion of a right circular cone which remains after its upper part has been cut off by a plane parallel to its base is known as a frustum of a cone. So you will have understood what is a frustum of cone. Now we can consider this glass. This is a real life example of the frustum of a cone. Now we can consider the base part. Then what is the shape you can see here? Yes, it is circle in shape. Now consider the upper part. The upper part is also in a circular shape. That means the end parts of the frustum of a cone are circles. And it also has a curved surface. That means a frustum has two circles and a curved surface. Now we can consider this figure. As we know, this is a figure which is frustum. Then the lower part is a circle. Then the radius of this lower part is denoted as R1. Next, we can consider the upper part circle. The radius of the upper part is denoted as R2. Since we know that the largest circle is seen in lower part, the R1 must be greater than R2. So here R1 is greater than R2. Then let H denotes the height of the frustum. So H means height of the frustum. And what about the length? This length is known as the slant height of the frustum. And it is denoted as L. So here we can see that H as the height of the frustum, L as the slant height of the frustum, and R1 and R2 are the end radii of the frustum of the cone, where R1 is greater than R2. Now we can draw a line which is parallel to H from this point towards the base. Now we can see that height is perpendicular to the base. Since this line is parallel to edge, here also it will be perpendicular. Hence then it will form a rectangular in shape. So if here the length is h, then what about this length? It will be also h. Then if here it is r2, what about this length? It will be also r2. Now let's consider this triangular shape. Since the angle formed here is 90 degree, it will be a right angle triangle. Then the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle is given as L and the altitude is given as H. Then next we have to consider the base side. The base will be, what about the base? Here we have seen that this much length as R2 and the total length as R1. Then this length will be denoted as R1 minus R2. The total length here as R1 and here we have got this length as R2. Then the remaining length will be total length minus R2. That means R1 minus R2. As we know, by the Pythagoras theorem, we can write it as hypotenuse square equal to altitude square plus base square. Here hypotenuse is given as L. Therefore, L square equal to altitude is given as h equal to h square plus base is given as R1 minus R2. R1 minus R2 the whole square. So we have got L square equal to h square plus R1 minus R2 the whole square. Therefore, L is equal to root of h square plus R1 minus R2 the whole square. So we have got the definition, the formula for finding the slant height of the frustum of the cone. That is root of h square plus R1 minus R2 the whole square. So you all have understood the definition of the frustum of a cone and how to find the slant height of this cone. Hope you have understood the basic concepts of a frustum of a cone. Thank you.